informative and contains my opinion and understanding of the subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, everyone. Hold on. I'm going to put my screen on in 1 second. I'm standing up. So hold on. I don't want to have my stomach or whatever in your face. Hi, everyone. Sorry so late, you guys. I had 2 emergencies at work with 2 different students, and the one was an emergency. And they were like, how long do you have? And I said, as long as it takes. And I stayed until I was done. All right, let's see. You guys excited for some Mackenzie Shirilla? I'm going to share my screen, and then I'll put my camera on. Oh, look, all the people coming in. All right, let me just make sure you guys can see. Here we go. Here we go. And we were at 19004 because I have the best memory in the world. 19004. All right. Here goes nothing, you guys. I'm going to put my camera on. Hey, everyone. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm going to do. I will put my phone in front of me. I have to take it off. I don't think it's all night. I'm going to put it in front of me, and hopefully I'll see it if anybody needs something. All right, here we go, you guys. Roses are red, violets are blue. We did Georgia. Oh my God, you guys are crazy. All right, here we go. So we left off on 6/18/21 at 11 a.m. Really? It just, hold on. 19004. I think I have to click on it over here. No, come on, don't go back there. I just had it working. I'm going to open this in the next tab just in case. Oh, that's in OneDrive. That's not what I want. Hold on, you guys. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, wait, hold on. 19004. We're almost there. All right, let's see. Where is this going to take us? 18,960. I could scroll up from there. Let's see. 19004. Is this it? 6/18/21. This is it. All right. 6/18. Why does it say it went back though? That says 1/14/21. Why is it doing that? No, stay on 18. Why is it doing this? Let me try something. I don't remember. How did I do it? Why is it going backwards? All right, let me just X out of this one. I'll stop sharing this and let me try on the other side. Hopefully this works, you guys. Why can't anything just be easy? 19004. All right, this is where I want to be. Please don't go backwards. All right, hold on. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Okay, I could see it and it's working good. I just hope when I go back here and I share it, fingers crossed. Okay, babe. Oh no, where's my screen there? Oh my God, it just went back. 19004. Why is it doing this? It's going right back to 15:7. You guys, what the heck? Let's see. Hopefully you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Let me just see if this works. No, it's like going backwards. Why is it doing that? What happens if I do it this way? Weird, you guys. Oh, wait. I think this is what I did last time. Hold on. I think I did it this way. Let me see. Fingers crossed it's coming back to me. I know I did something different than the last time. All right, let me do it this way. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, wait, I think I got it. I think this is what I did. Can you guys see? You can. All right, here we go. Whew. So I am so sorry that I didn't like properly text anyone. That was my fault. Okay, here we go. I figured it out, you guys. So now that I know, I have to click on conversation instant messages. And then it takes me to here. Next time I'm going to play around with it a little bit more and like make it bigger. But I'm afraid that if I make it bigger, it's going to kick us out. So day is how we're starting today. Okay, so 6/18/21 at 11 a.m. Day this is Dom. They put it in, so get addicted right now. What are you doing today, babe? Mackenzie says, open my favorite app. Don't wait to get more surprises. And then she sends them the app. Then she says, can you please get me a pink small fondue cake? Dom says, from where, babe? Mackenzie says, any bakery, you just have to call. It's okay. I'll just do it. Never mind. I'll just figure it out at work since nobody wants to help. Dom says, bet, because I'm heated as F right now. Oh, sorry. Wait, let me lower that a tiny bit so that if somebody does text me, it doesn't sound so loud to you guys. Okay. Bet, because I'm heated as F right now anyway. Then he says, literally, first time I filled that cup your mom got me, and I left it on the car and pulled out, and a car just obliterated it. I'm so mad. She says, oh my God, no way. I'll get another bay. He says, I'm salt right now. I don't got coffee. I was like, I better remember, yo, grab this. Then it was just in a rush and I didn't grab it. She says, do you know how many times that happens to me? I leave those cups on my car all the time. She wrote cops on the car, but I know what she meant. And then she says, I never broke the cup though. I never broke the cup. What's RHO? Maybe she meant though. I think she meant though. He says, yeah, shit had me pissed. Hey, babe, how's work going? Mackenzie says, it's okay. A big boss is here. He says, is he complaining about the what? Oh, the mold. Is he complaining about the mold? Let me know when he's gone. I'll come get a smoothie. She said, no, just making us do everything 100% right. Oh, God forbid. He says, laugh out loud. You should tell him he should be worried about the mold. She says, I know. I don't know. He says, LOL. Is he staying there the whole time? She says, hopefully not. It's effed. Dom says, why is he making it hard? Mackenzie says, because we can't do shit how we normally do. We have to do it the right way. Oh gosh, you guys, God forbid. He says, what even is the difference? She says, come whenever. They left. He says, Okie, be there soon. She says, I'm home, bae. That at 10:07, she's home at night. He says, what move, bae? She says, I'm with Riley. Oh, okay. She says, I said you could come, bae. He says, what you trying to do? Because I don't know if I could go to bed early. She said, I have anxiety about tomorrow, so I'm probably going to sleep very much tonight. I think she mentioned not going to sleep very much tonight. He said, LOL, you're cute. She said, bae. He says, what? And she sends him the cat with the hearts emoji, and then the cat with a cry emoji, and then the cat with a kissy heart emoji. And then he sends a picture of her, and she said, oh, wait. Yeah, it is her. She said, you look so cute. He said, LOL, you're cuter. Oh, God. She said, my family just went to dinner without me. He said, damn. You got a friend over, though. She said, I know. But still, she would still bring us both. Weird. And then he says, that is weird. Did they leave before you got home? She said, no. They left while I was here. He said, maybe they want to pay for Riley. She said, I don't know. And then she sends, oh, look at that picture of her. She sends a selfie, and he says, you look cute. I might have to come cuddle. She said, babe. He says, what, babe? And then she sends a TikTok. And then he says, yeah, that read. LOL. Oh, and then she sends a close-up picture, and it looks like it's under her nose. He said, what are you doing? And then she sends a close-up of her eyes. Then she sends another one, a close-up with her eyes shut. She's weird. He said, how's your photo shoot, babe? And then he said, oh, this is the next day. Oh, that's weird. So wait, she sends the picture. That was at 12:09 a.m. But then the next time, 12:11, he sends something, but it's redacted. And then we don't get anything again until the next day at noon. Well, it's the same day, my bad, at noon. That's why I was confused. How's your photo shoot, babe? You don't need to talk to me like, Ray. Sorry, I can't hear. Your phone is messed up or some. Can I drop to Joey real quick, then come? She said, hurry the F up. He says, okay, I'll just come to you right now. Angelo took them literally, and she said, no, just go to do it real quick. It's not up to me. Just go do it, babe. He said, no, it's okay, babe. She said, bring the pen down. He said, what are all my crystals called again? And she said, tiger's eye, opal, and rose quartz. And he said, yeah, I always forget opal. She said, Mr. Davenport K pissed me off so bad. I was taking a final, and he was just sitting right by me watching. He says, are they supposed to? I would have to ask him to leave. She said, no, they didn't with Karina. That's why it pissed me off so bad. And Karina was obviously cheating. We both were. He said, next time, just ask him to leave. She said, we just started talking. And, oh, you guys, she says, we just started talking in Carney. And then he left. Kearny. Carney. That's the, there you go, you guys. That's proof. 19044. Is where she writes that she was talking in Carney. And then she corrects it, Carnie, Carney. Wow. She said, are you coming to visit me today? Bring the pen thingy. He said, yeah, what times do you work? She said 11 to 4. He said, oh, so you're already there? Yeah, let me run some places and all. I'll be there. She says, bet. Yay. Then he says, babe, I'm not home and didn't bring the pen. Would you care if I didn't bring it? She says, no, of course I don't care. And he said, you back from work yet, babe? And she says, yes, babe. Let's do something fun today. He said, what do you want to do? It's super windy and rainy. She said, I don't know. We can do something fun indoors. And then he sends, yeah, let's figure it out. what to do. I'll figure out when I'm done with stuff. And she said, when are you going to be done? And he said, right now, I'm done. I'm just at the house eating food. She says, me too. He says, I'm going to see what else I could do. Then I'm free. She says, okay, bet. Be at my house at 7:59. He said, I'll be there earlier. She said 7:59, probably. And then she says, bet, even better. I'm hungry. Do you want to eat? So wait, that was on 6/21 at 7:25 p.m. So now it's 6:22 the next day at 12 p.m. 12:48 p.m. She says, I'm hungry. Do you want to eat? Do you want to go to Fridays at 5 or 6? Dom, I heard stock might crash. And he said, what stock? And where did you hear it? She said, I don't know. What stock? Karina heard it from her mom, and her parents are rich as F. Karina said they're in the politics and the stock market. And he said, if it crashes, it only helps me. The media will push whatever's happening. And she says, okay, good. He says, LOL. What should I wear today? I was going to wear those pink pants, but I don't know what shirt or sweatshirt to wear with them. She said, wear a white shirt with the pink. He said, well, I know that, babe. What jacket? And you said Fridays, 5 or 6. And she said, I don't know. What time do you think is better to go? I think we're going to go at 6. He said, I don't know. Who are we going with? And let me see what I have to do, though. She said, I don't know. He said, let me know, babe. She said, do you want to go to Fridays at 6:45 when my mom's off? She said she will come. And then she sends TikToks. And then she sends Google stuff. And he says, in Hocking Hills, too. Let's get a cabin. She says, I'm down. Are we going? Just me and you? I don't even know who we would bring. Everyone sucks. And he says, I know, it does suck. We are the only cool people. She said, I know, we are so raw. And then he says, yeah, and you're super cute. But she says, is Blair also coming to dinner? I told you 6:45. I mean, because I just want to make you. You're going to be ready? He said, now I'm too worked up to do anything. She said, okay, cool. I'm going to bed. He said, I wish I could just go to bed right now. You still here, babe? Okay, so that was at 11:19 p.m. And then the next day at 11:07 a.m., he says, you still here, babe? Sorry we fought, babe. Love you. Do you still want me to come sleep over? Salt. I'm trying to go next door and get my guns, but Truth is over there. She said, why the F is he still there? I for real hate him. Aw. Dom says, I know. He's such a weirdo. That's not nice. I'm glad you hate him with me. Aw. And I broke my coffee pot. And she says, oh, God, how, babe? I'll get you one. He said, I was washing it and dumped it into a cup, and it just cracked a hole in it. She said, I'm off. He said, I'm shooting with Jared. You going to hang with Riley, babe? She says, hi, babe. This is at 5 p.m. Yes. I don't have any, weirdo. And he says, question mark, you don't have what? She said, bud. He said, oh, I'll get you some. She said, can you bring the little cake molds too? Are you still shooting or something? And he says, I'm home. You could come get Bud if you want. She said, you were supposed to drop it off and drop the cake things off when you were home. But it's whatever. Clearly, you've just been chilling. He said, no, I just got home. I'm getting ready to run places. And I thought you didn't need them because you just made the cake. And she said, okay. He says, where are you at, babe? This is at 10:55 p.m. She says, okay, then she says nothing. And then the next day, June 24th at 10:30 a.m., she says, can I get some Bud after school? After summer school? And he says, yeah, door's unlocked. Give me a sec. I'm on the toilet. She says, hurry, babe. Babe, I seriously have to pee. What window can I go in? I didn't know it was that hard to say, I promise. And he says, honestly, I didn't even know you said that. I thought you were just telling me to come over. She said, I just said promise you'll come over after because you didn't last night. That's all, babe. He said, oh, I didn't hear the promise. She said, babe, do you want to go to the beach? So that was at 12:04. Now it's 1:43 p.m. He says, with who and when? She said, he said, question mark. She said, soon. He said, well, I didn't shower, so I guess not. And she says, oh, okay. He said, what time are you going? She said, I'm not going. He said, are you going because the Ohio party act? She said, I'll probably just stay here if you don't go. Yes. He said, let me run somewhere and shower. We could probably still go. She said, I want to wear my new jumpsuit. I want to wear my new swimsuit. I said jumpsuit. That was a Freudian slip. I want to wear my new swimsuits, and they're not really tanning swimsuits. And he said, which ones? She said, my paper one and IMG on a pink one. And then she says, babe, Nat and Hope are coming. He said, are you cool with them or no? She said, yes. I'm saying we're all going together. She said, oh, okay. Let me see what I got to sell that could go. She said, okay, bet. He said, probably just this one sale real quick, then I'll shower. She said, honestly, there's not even any point of showering. You're just going to go to the dirty beach. And he said, my hair is F though. She said, well, you could just wash your hair only. I don't know. I feel like your hair is still going to get F though. And he says, that's the longest part of showering. Well, I can make it look good to get F'd up again. And she said, LOL. And he said, right though? She said, just hurry, you little nugget. Oh, you nugget. He said, I like it greasy. I'm waiting to go to the sale. Should I just wear the pink swim trunks? She said, yes, LOL. We could twin. Bring your blue ones too. Just bring both. I don't know which ones I'm going to wear. And she said, he said, I don't have the blue ones. She said, okay, then I'll wear the pink swim top. She corrected herself. How far is your sale? LOL. Call me. And can you give me a time limit? Let me pick them up now. And he said, okay, I just got out of the shower. She said, okay, be ready. Get some tails. He said, I don't have tails. I have bath tails, LMAO. And she said, just be ready then, LOL, nuggy. Oh, God. He said, do I bring drugs? When you gonna be here? She says, soon. And I'm down. I might have to stop at my house and grab some. He said, what should I bring? She said, whatever, bud. I'm coming. He said, I got these muscle relaxers. Should I bring them? She says, LOL. Yeah, sure. He says, bet. Where are you coming from? She said, here in 5, she meant seconds, and she wrote here in 5 secs. And he said, bet. She says, here. And then she says, Ringwater? And he said, okay, put around back. You can turn around. She said, watch. Oh, no. Watch the fat Asian. I don't like that. He said, I am. She said, she's going to steal something or try to fight someone. We will retaliate. Oh, God, grow up. He says, she ain't doing nothing right now. When you going to be back? I'm trying to piss. And she said, come over. He said, bet. She said, I don't feel good. This is at 9 p.m. on 5/25 still. She said, I puked. Dom? He said, is there anything I can do, babe? She said, I don't know. He said, do you want me to come back? She said, no. And are we still going to that concert? Because it low-key looks like a country music concert, and I'm not into that. And he said, I'll ask Blair if it's good. And she says, question mark. He said, what? He didn't answer yet. I'll call him. And she said, do you want to go or not? And he said, okay. He said he didn't get there yet. I'll go if it's fun. I mean, it's something to do for real. He said, it's chill. It's a chill beach where you can do whatever. She said, I mean, like, I feel like I'm just going to stand there. And isn't it raining? And he said, I guess not anymore. I'll check the weather. Where is it at? I'll ask Blair if it's mid-hell. He'll be honest. He'll be there in 10. Anyway, and she said, I don't know. I literally feel like shit. So I might just go to bed. If it's fun, I'll definitely go though. So this is at 9:46 p.m. Then he says, what can we do for you, babe? When did you start feeling like shit? Is it because you haven't ate? And she said, pretty much my back just started burning like super bad. Like I told you. Then I got really bad and literally nothing was making the pain go away. And then all of a sudden, I just threw up. He says, I used to have the burning, you got to stretch your butt hella. Come stretch with me. She said, come over. He said, okay, give me a sec, babe. You're mean to me. Okay, so that was at 9:52 p.m. So now it is the next day. So it's 6/26/21 at 12:14 p.m. He says, you're mean to me when I say you're being mean. Then I'm the mean one for saying you're being mean. Makes a lot of sense. I literally didn't go to breakfast because I wanted to stay with you. Then you're just mean and make breakfast without me. All because I asked a question about trying the straps. I guess I just won't ask questions next time. Sorry. I didn't know that would make you so mad. I won't ask any more questions. That's the definition of petty. She said, listen, you saying you don't know how to tie the shirt? He says, question mark. It shouldn't be a deal. She said, it's not. He said, then why did you get mad over it when I said you're mean? And then he says, making things, events, or actions. Oh, I guess he's giving her a definition. Making things, events, or actions normal people dismiss as trivial or insignificant info, excuses to be upset, uncooperative, childish, or stubborn. He says, definition of a petty person. And then he said, my dad's such a piece of trash. Oh. She says, no one, Dom. And then at 5:33, he says, are you hungry? I'm hungry. You want to get food? She said, yes. He says, what are we going to get? Chinese? And she said, I don't care. He said, I want that, or like some gas fries. We should go to Brick Fair tonight or whatever. She said, yes, I'm down. He says, bet. Are you home? She said, I heard it wasn't that good though. Yeah. He said, what's not that good? She said, you know, I'm still down. I don't know. And he said, I'm at your house. She says, where? He said, it's late, so I'm sleeping here. Oh, well, so wait. She says where? That was at 6:02 p.m. And then on June 27th, my birthday, 2021, at 2:55 a.m., he says it's late, so I'm sleeping here. I really miss you, babe. How's work, babe? I passed the fair. It doesn't look bad. I'd be down to go tonight. This is at 1:18 in the morning. At 1:46, she says, please, can we go tonight? You, me, and Riley? And he said, yeah, what time does it end? I have a play planned at 7, so sometime after that. She said, why are you asking? I do not know. I'm going after work with Riley. You can meet me there if you have a sale. He said, okay. She said, can you do the sale before 5? Do the sale before 5. And he said, I can't. He's at Cedar Pony. He said 7. She said, bruh, what the F? I don't want to have to wait on some dad. Oh, and then she says FAJ. I don't like that. He says, he needs a good amount, and I blew him off yesterday. I'm making 200, so I'm trying to do it. She said, can't you just have someone else do it? Why doesn't that Rui have to be at Cedar Point? He said, I don't really have anyone around here. I don't know, man. 7 is fine, though. It probably closes at 12. And I'd rather be there when it's darker because it's hot as F right now. She said, I know, but I want to be there for a long time. Are you cool with going with Riley? He said, yeah, I don't care. She said, Nat is pissing me off so bad. He says, why, babe? She said, about her super cheap ass bag. He said, why is that your problem? She said, bruh, because she left it in my car. And she's claiming that it's in my car, she meant car, even though she searched it like 80 times. And even though she checked the camera footage of my Ring camera, she keeps saying her mom is mad as F. Like, I don't give an F. He said, that's fried. She probably just left it at the beach. Mackenzie says, I know, she's pissing me the F off. And then sends a bunch of text messages. She says, are you coming? Are you coming right now? If you can you go to my house and bring one of the 10 things so I can hit it? And he said, what 10 things? When do you get off? I'm about to shower real quick. She said, pens, 5. He said, okay, bet. He says, yeah, I got you. She said, babe. He said, what's up, babe? She says, when are you going to come bring me a hit? He said, I'm about to shower real quick. I'll come after. Sorry, I decided to get a workout real quick. She said, wow, probably just don't come because I have to start closing at 4. Not wow. Oh. And he said, oh, I thought you get off at 5. She said, I do. I have to start cleaning and shit, though. Just come quick if you're going to come before 5. He said, okay, give me a sec. She said, never mind. He said, okay. She said, I'm home. You want to go to the carnival? He said, it's going to be raining for a bit. And I'm about to run places. Oh, my God, you guys. He just said the night before that he promised he would go with her. He said, what are you doing? Did you go to the carnival? She said, no. I'm just laying waiting for you. He said, what you been doing? Oh, okay. I was wondering why you weren't answering. She said, do you want to go? When are we going to go? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. And then sends a bunch of pictures of a Skims dress. And then says, where are you? This is at 11:52 p.m. He says, on the way home. Getting on the highway. By Snow Road, like 20 minutes till I'm home. She said, come, babe. He said, I will. I'll probably be home less than 10. Should we just go explore Metro Parks today? I wish I had my four-wheeler going. We could ride. And she said, I'm down. I want to go somewhere cool, though. He said, yeah, probably to a hot, abandoned building. I was hot in my car with the air conditioning, but Metro Park would be fun. She says, okay, bet. Harry, I'm so hungry. Bruh, where are you? He said, I'm about to be on the way. I had to get these edibles out. You can make it without me if you're that hungry. And she said, what the F? Question mark. He said, brushing my teeth. I'm about to be on the way, babe. And then she sends a bunch of Google things and question marks and says, how long? I'm really trying to go to my house. Okay, so now it's 6:28. It's at the evening. He said 5 minutes or less. My stomach really hurts. I already shit twice. I might go again. You can take my car if you really want. Yeah, I'm going to be longer than 5. And then she says, my mom's just going to get me to come over when you're done. He says, okay. Are we leaving at 5, babe? You want to go get marshmallows and stuff? She says, yes. He says, okay, babe. I'll be on the way in a second. She said, did you leave? Leave me some church of. Oh, he said, no, not yet. What are you doing? She says, come. He said, I'm not even home yet to shower. She said, do you want to go shopping today because it's shitty out? So this is 3:23 in the afternoon on 6:29. And then she says, or we can go out to eat. And he said, maybe. I'm not in the best mood. She said, why? Bar? Do you want to go watch movies and have a cuddle tonight? And he said, I don't know. Some days you just aren't going to be in the best mood, and there's nothing wrong with that. And she said, that's true. I love you, babe. He said, love you too, babe. So that was at 4:14. And then she writes right back, do you want to go crystal mining tomorrow? Oh my God. He says, probably. And then at 5:20, he writes, what are you doing now? She said, with Lincoln. He said, I might have to run to Electra. Then I'm free after, though. She said, I'm getting my fondue cake at like 5:40. Then we're going to Olive Garden. Do you want to come? And he says, yeah, which Olive Garden? With who? She said, what do you mean, which Olive Garden? The only Olive Garden. What do you mean with who? The person I just told you I was with, question mark, question mark. And he said, okay, I'll probably be busy then. She said, what the F? Okay. He said, because I got her on the Electra. I was just asking which Olive Garden, so maybe I can tell a person to meet me there. She said, oh, LOL, LOL. He said, I accept your apology. That kid hasn't hit me back, so I'm free now. Probably just some breadsticks and calamari. It's Galamon. She says, LOL, bet. To be honest, last time I had the calamari, it wasn't so good. He said, get me your mozzarella sticks then. And just make sure I get extra marinara. She says, bet. He said, if they give you soup with your meal, oh my God, Zuppa Toscana is so good. Get Zuppa Toscana and take it home for me. And she says, question mark, question mark. Are you going to come get your food? And he said, I'm coming. She said, babe, do you want to go shopping today? Okay, so now it's 6:30 at 9:30 in the morning. Do you want to go crystal mining today? And sends him a bunch of Google. She probably Googled it. She said, I say the second one. And then he writes something back and says, what are you doing, babe? So now it's 3 p.m. Are you back from your facial yet? She said, I'm in my facial now. He said, oh, okay. I was going to see if you want to go to the dispo. She said, I'm done with my facial now. He said, you want to come with me? I just got to stop at Phil's, then get gas. She said, I might go pick up that one girl that I was telling you about. He said, okay, then. She said, do you want to go to the abandoned building? He said, it's pretty raining. She said, well, I kind of want to do something fun. And then he sends pictures of an attachment and says, it's going to rain bad though. You guys, it's so funny because as I'm reading these, I can remember some of the things that like she wrote with the girls, like with Rosie and all them, and even with her dad and her mom and how they're matching up. And then she says, oh, I'm going to come check in a second. She says, so we just going to do nothing? And he said, what do you have in mind? She said, I had a couple of things in mind, but you said no to like all of them. He said, even you said we can't just go to that crystal mine. You know what? Let's just go to the beach. After 6 though, because I have sales. LOL, exactly, pain in the ass. And she said, I'm on my way home. He said, bet. I'm about to run and get gas and then go to Illyria. And she says, where you at? And he says, the dispo. She said, want to go to Dave and Buster? Dom. He said, what's up? She said, when are you coming over? He said, I'm about to meet with this kid in 10 minutes. Then do you want me to come by? And she said, just come soon. He said, because I got like 3 other places to run after. And she said, what are you doing? Where are you at? And he said, leave in play. She said, are you about to be done? He said, I got a couple more, but I could probably tell them tomorrow. She said, let me know. He said, okay, give me a sec. I'm like done. She says, question mark, come. He said, on the way. And then she sends him Nike Dunks. And then more, oh, they're nice. Jordan Retro 4s, nice. And then she sends, another Jordan Retro 4s. And then she says, pancakes or waffles. So now it's 6:30 at 9:03 p.m. He says waffles. She said, so we are at Denny's now. And he said, laughing my ass off, why? She said, we dead ass sat there for like 30 minutes and nobody even gave us a drink. So now we're here. He's, damn, what the F? And then he says, what are you doing now? She said, I'm home, babe. He said, okay, I'll come soon, babe. She said, bring the pen. He said, okay. She said, come, babe. He said, I am. She says, when? Babe. And then that was at, now we're on 7-1. And now we're going to go to 7-2 at 2:01 p.m. So they must have hung out because I don't imagine her waiting till 2 in the afternoon to write something. She says, babe, what time does Jared's graduation party start? Wait, never mind. Are you coming to visit? I'm guessing that's a no. And he said, maybe. Let me see what I got to do. She said, are we going to that party? Do you want to? I don't care if we go or not. She says, I'm always down to wear a cute little outfit. He said, it'll probably get popped. He said, so we could really get turned. Okay, it said, it'll probably get popped. He said, so we couldn't really get turned. And she says, oh. He said, but we can go kick it with B. She said, yes, I'm down. He said, bet. He said he don't even know if he's sliding. She says, oh. He said, it's because ride, I don't say let's drive him, but I'm going to see if he get rude first because I don't want to drive in brick late. She said, we can drive home if you're able to. They will not pull me over in my little black Camry. I thought she said Carney, like Carneytal. So she says, they will not pull me over in my little black Camry. And he says, LMAO. And then he says, my mom made corn if you want to come eat. She said, what kind? I feel like shit still. He said, on the cob. She said, I know. He said, LOL. Want me to bring you one? She says, yes. He said, 2 question mark? She said, is it on the grill or boiled? He said, grilled. She said, I don't know if I like grilled. So I guess only bring 1. And he said, with the green shit on it though, so we can just cut it off. It's just as good, babe. Trust me. She said, I want you to come over so I can show you my machine order. He says, I like it better. Bet, I'll come in a second. I'm going to bring you 2. She said, 1. Where you at? He said, coming back in a sec. I only got 2 sales, so I might not be in that much of a rush. So this is the next morning at 10:30 a.m. She says, I'm out, babe. They don't have the slides that they had before. Go on the machine, the website, and pick one out. He said, I know you told me, babe. I'll pick them out when I see you. And then she says, snap. Okay, cool. He said, what? If it's not going to be fun, then you're going to go? So now this is 7:03 at 11:43 a.m. She says, okay, then I'll just go ride 4-wheelers with Lincoln. He said, okay, thanks for making a fight over an outfit. She said, thank you for telling me I can't wear an outfit. They're not helping me pick another one. And then not helping me pick another one. He said, then wear the outfit. It's that simple. She said, OMG, and then in all caps, that is not helpful at all. He said, I told you I'm waiting for him to respond. And then he says, you have time. I don't know why you're stressing. If anything, I don't have time. I'm supposed to be running places. She said, so I'm just going to waste this outfit? And he said, you can wear it. We just might be the only people wearing red, white, and blue. That's funny. She said, damn, you need to figure it out. What week we're going on vacation to the lake right now. So now it's still almost noon. And then she says, because once they put it in the system, I can't change it. He said, I just called my mom. She didn't answer. She said, okay, question mark, question mark, question mark. You can text her too. So then he sends a picture of like a text. And he says, I did, Sassy. And she said, okay, Mr. Sassy. And he said, Dr. Sassy, actually. I have my PhD. She said, do I have to spam Jared or something? He said, it's not 4th themed. She said, Jared answered me. He said he didn't say anything, but I can wear it. I'm going to. He says, okay. She said, you can just wear blue if you want, or red. What are you wearing? Honestly, just send me what you're wearing, because I can make an outfit out of whatever you're wearing. And then he sends pics of a text. And then he says, stressed me out just enough that I'm now going to get some shit done and then send more. And she says, it's not too late. You just need to tell me the time. I just need to put it in before the schedule's up. So I'm confused. Are we going or not? And then he sends more pictures of a text and says, I don't even know at this point. Probably not. And then he says, my mom's waiting on Angelo to pick somewhere. Mackenzie says, why are you relying on Angelo? Are we getting an Airbnb or a hotel? He says, Airbnb, I think. She says, okay, bet. What time are we going to go over there? He says, I don't know. She says, could you give me like an estimate so I could do stuff? And he said, what do you need to do? She said, are we leaving at 4, 5, 7, 3? He said, it doesn't matter. She says, OMG, bro, you need to tell me a time right now so I know when to start getting ready. And you never showed me what you were wearing. He said it don't matter. And I sent a snap. She said, you're really making me not want to go. He said, why, babe? You're stressing me out. She said, like, you're literally so unhelpful when it comes to an outfit. Like, I had my outfit picked, then you told me I couldn't wear it. Or save it for tomorrow when it's going to be effing 84 degrees tomorrow. He says, okay, let's just dress red, white, and blue on July 3rd then. She said, yeah, I'm really about to not go. He said, I don't care. I'll wear red, white, and blue. Then I won't have anything to wear tomorrow, though. And she said, bro, I don't even want to wear red, white, and blue anymore. I don't even know what I'm going to wear. That's why I'm freaking out. And he said, have you eaten today? Eat, then pick an outfit. She said, oh my God, yes, I ate. He said, match me with white or orange. It's that easy, bae. What are you doing? Wait, why do you do that? She said, I'm just laying on my floor. He said, does that mean you're not coming? You still have tomorrow. And she said, I don't have an outfit. He says, Kenzie, you've been trying to pick an outfit for 3 hours. Is it really worth it? Like, just put on some shorts and a white shirt. Like, you're stressing me out. And I already been trying to sneeze so much shit in before. I think he meant squeeze. He said, then the vacation, that shit got me pissed. And everyone got to go 75 in the fast lane. Like, I can't deal with, he said 75 in the fast lane. He says, I can't deal with all this. It's just an outfit. And she said, half of that doesn't even have to do with me. He said, I wasn't saying that. I'm saying I'm stressed out. Honestly, it's cool. You don't have to worry about an outfit. I don't even think I'm going anymore. I'm going to just go freak out. He said, I'm going to just go freak the F out. She said, well, you didn't even tell me a time that we were going. So I don't even know what to get ready. You don't have to freak out. He said, I don't have an outfit either way. I'm all covered in banana. She said, why? And then she questioned it. And he said, I'm so done. She said, with? He said, everything. She says, okay. He said, okay. She said, so what time is the party? Are you going to answer me or not? Question mark, question mark. And then he says, we can go whenever. I said that. I'm going to go in 20 minutes though. She said, oh, okay. Then you could just go the F alone since you're going to leave in 20 minutes. He said, okay, I thought you wanted a time. You've had 3 hours to pick an outfit. She said, oh, you were keeping track. You don't dictate how long I get to take it. Thank you. I do need time. He said, you dictate how long I get to take when I'm trying to get me somewhere. She said, I actually don't. I ask you what time you're going to be done, but you can believe that. And then she says, when you want to actually be helpful, you can text me. He said, I'll be running around all day, not showered or eaten. And then you rush me to get ready to do something. And you know that's true. And I did try to help so many times. She said, telling me to just get ready is not helpful at all. Or saying just pick a couple of outfits. He says, okay, Kenzie, how about this? She said, also extremely unhelpful. He says, you tell me when you're ready, then we can go. It's all on you. I'll be ready. You just let me know when you are. I even said that earlier. She said, well, I don't know what you're wearing now. And I'm just laying on my floor, so it's going to take a while. And he said, okay, you can meet me there then. She said, so you're not wearing orange anymore because you got shit all over your clothes? Okay, I'll just ride four-wheelers with Lincoln. He said, no, I wiped it off. She said, you are so effing rude. He said, you're rude. He says, you're making me freak out. I've been doing shit all day and you're tweaking me over an effing outfit. And she said, I'm not doing anything. I'm just asking you for help. He said, like, how am I rude? She said, you're the one who set me off about the outfit in the first place, telling me I can't wear an outfit I picked out. He said, it's not the 4th of July. Wear your outfit. I don't care. I'm aware of this. And then he said, sorry, I just tried to inform you that no one is dressing like it's 4th of July. That's all I was trying to say. I said I didn't care. She said, you're literally boring. I'll just wear all black. He said, I'll wear red, white, and blue too. She said, no. He said, honestly, I'm too mad to even go now. Go ride four-wheelers with Lincoln. Glad you're happy. She said, who the F said I'm happy? What the F is wrong with you? Literally, you have issues. I'm done. He said, I really just want to hang myself. Then I really want to just say the meanest things ever. She said, why the F would you ever say that you're not going to do that? Like, why is this making you feel this way? What the F? Over me stressed out about an effing outfit? It really set you off that bad? Like, oh my gosh. Then you're trying to blame me? Like, no, it will never be my fault. So you can tell me if we're going to this party right now or I'm going to Lincoln's. I'm not answering because I know you're just going to scream. He said, excuse me. He says, I'm not going. I already broke so much shit in my house. Why can't you just pick an outfit or not make me freak out about it? She said, I didn't make you do anything, buddy. And I did have an outfit picked out. You told me I can't wear it. He said, I can't make you do anything, buddy. Your body, your choice. Wear your outfit, buddy. I'll match you. She said, no, I'm not wearing it now. He said, I already broke my dining room table and my chair. She said, what the F is wrong with you? He said, I'm so mad. She said, I can't do this shit. Like, this is all my fault, somehow laughing my ass off. And he said, it's everyone's fault, mainly my fault. I shouldn't have tried to get anything done. I should have sat around and helped you with an outfit. Sorry, I was just trying to make some money. You know, money is stressful for me. She said, yeah, I'm so sorry. You did that now. And he says, you're so unhelpful when I'm freaking out. So bad, I could KILL myself. And then he says, you're stressed because you can't pick an outfit. And she said, you never let me help you when you're freaking out. I have an outfit now. Oh my God, of course you do. He says, when I'm freaking out, sending you videos of me screaming, don't move me saying I have problems and you're going to screen record it. Like, I feel like I can't tell you any of my problems now. And she said, what the F? He says, when I'm freaking out, you can just go. Okay. Sorry, babe. Then leave me all alone. And she says, that's literally not okay to send anyone videos of you screaming. So yes, it's okay for me to tell you you have problems when you're effing doing that. He said, yeah, maybe someone who's doing that isn't okay. That would be good though. And she said, what do you want me to do when you send me videos of you screaming? He said, sorry, I'm stressed out. Understand why I'm screaming, or at least try. Or if you can't, don't be mean about it. Maybe be like, oh, wow, he's tweaking. I should just leave him alone. She said, so what do you want me to do? You want me to talk to you when you're flipping out or leave you alone? He said, but like, I'm going all these things and like, I'm calling you and FaceTiming you and you just like, don't talk or be a martyr if you're going to understand. But if you're not going to understand and stick inside your way of thinking, then don't. She said, are we going or not? Question mark, question mark. He said, I'm almost calmed down now, so maybe. And then he said, I hope my TV isn't broke. She said, well, it wouldn't be my fault if it is. And he said, ha, so funny. She said, wasn't trying to be funny. Can you tell me yes or no? He said, maybe give me a little bit more time to chill. She said, well, I'm just going to go with Lincoln soon, I guess. I want to go, but if you don't, I'll just go with her, I guess. He said, why are you doing this to me? Like, this is hurting me. She said, I'm saying I want to go with you. FaceTime me. He said, you take so long. I call you and you say you're just laying on the floor doing nothing. And then when I finally freak out, you're ready to go. And to Lincoln's, like, why? She said, I wanted to go with you. He said, I want to go. Wait, you want to go with me now? She said, I've said that like 3 times. He said, after I have a mental breakdown, and then she emphasized, I want to go, but if you don't, I'll go with her, I guess. And then emphasized, I'm saying I want to go with you. He said, now you're ready. She said, I wanted to go with you before too. He said, after I have a mental breakdown. You weren't ready then. I can't believe after I have a mental breakdown, now you're rushing me to go. Like, why? She said, of course you're arguing about this now. I'm done talking to you. He said, I'm not arguing. I'm just genuinely hurt. And you kept saying, I didn't let you wear an outfit when I said you could. I said, I'd match you. I was just trying to let you know that when no one was wearing him 4th of July themed, I was just letting you know. Not like I wasn't letting you wear it, but that's my fault too. When I said it don't matter either way, like check the con though, for real, 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 for real. She says, it's not your fault. He said, oh, so now it's not, but an hour ago it was. She said, oh my God, are you done yet? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. And he said, you hurt me. You got some making up to do. She said, okay. So are we going? He said, I need an apology from you or something. She said, for what? Laughing my ass off. He said, you can figure that out. She said, okay, so are we going? And he said, when I get an apology, she said, you don't need an apology. He said, I do. She said, okay, then effing tell me what you want me to say then. And he said, no, that's not an apology. She said, all I said was that you have issues and that's not even that bad. He said, apologize and I'll apologize. It was more than that. She said, no, LOL. I don't need your apology. He said, okay, then. She said, so we're not going, question mark. He said, I'm just waiting for an apology. She said, you're not getting an apology, Dom, unless you tell me exactly what, question mark, do you want me to say? I'm sorry for asking you to help me pick an outfit. Like, come on, buddy, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. He says, sorry for being a martyr and making it hard for you than it should be, harder on you than it should be. I know you have things to do, and that's simply for real. And she said, I'm sorry for asking you to help me. To help next time, I'll make sure you're not busy before I text you. And he said, that was very narcissistic. He is so right on. She said, do you know what that means, Dom? And he said, yes, very well, actually. And she says, okay. He said, now, that's how a narcissistic person apologizes, babe. Ha, that's great. She says, no, it's not. You said you were busy. So I said, next time I'll make sure you're not busy. Trying to be considerate of your time. I would have said, I don't give an F if I was narcissistic. He said, no, I could explain. She said, you don't have to explain. You don't have to explain it. I already understand. I'm done texting you. Text me when you're ready to go. And he said, you said you were making it harder than it should have been. Example, me trying to talk to you and you don't answer. Then you say, sorry, I asked you for help when you're busy. Those are different. And then he said, you saying, sorry, I asked for your help because you were, etc. Where it's wrong, if you would have just said, sorry, it was hard on you. I just needed help, would make more sense and not make me sound like the bad guy. Just apologize and I'll get ready to go. She said, so I just tell Lincoln I'm going with her. He said, you're really not going to apologize? And she emphasized, I'm sorry for asking. When she said, I'm sorry for asking your help, he said, no, babe, just actually apologize. Like, you know. And she said, I already did, Dom. We can either go have fun or I can go have fun. And he said, no, you're still implying that you're right. Surrender. We can both be sorry. Like, it don't have to be right and wrong. And she said, I said it. I don't need your apology. You're really just wasting my time at this point. I'm just waiting for you to go, or waiting for you to tell me that we're not going so I can go with Lincoln. He said, I'm just waiting for you to apologize or not to be so hostile. She said, you're waiting for nothing. I'm not going to apologize. I already did. So you can either get over it or I'm not going. And he said, you really don't want to go? Like, why? She said, I do, but I'm not apologizing. I said, ready to go for like an hour. She said, I've been. Literally, tell me now because I'm just going to tan if we're not going. And he said, you're still being mean. She said, oh my God, I'm not going now. I'm done. Go alone. He said, you'd rather really do that than just apologize or at least not be so hostile. And she said, I mean, that's what I just said. I'm not being hostile at all. You're just still tweaking. He said, no, babe, you're being hostile. I would just not go, but I kind of have to. So are you coming or not, babe? And she said, I mean, if you're going to take forever, I guess not. You're arguing with me over bullshit for like 4 hours. Like, why would I want to go? He said, okay, then. She said, I've been ready for like 2 hours and you're just trying to force an apology. That's not how it works. It never will work like that. He said, I want you to be actually sorry. She says, I didn't do shit. Get over it. He said, narcissist. That's what it is. And she says, okay, cool. I'm just not going to go. You literally wasting my effing time. He said, see, I can admit I was wrong. If I am not, you're not admitting it. Like, who cares? She says, okay, be done or stop texting me. And he said, done with what? Like, that's life. When you argue, we should both be able to admit we're wrong, whether we are or not, because it'll keep us both happy. Oh, Dom, that's not how you do it. He said, it's like that video. There's no wrong or right. But there is. Just perspective. That's true. Like, let's decide this is over and go have a good time. She said, I literally said, be done. You just repeated what I said, but longer. He said, I understand. I stress myself out more than I should. And I know that because I jam-pack my schedule and I should have been more patient. But yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been tweaking out. I was really frustrated though. See, now say your part. We both understand each other. Oh, then all love again. Do you want to go now? I'm coming now. I have things on me. Are you going to yell because I don't want to tweak when I have things on me? Also, are we drinking or no? Because I have to bring a bottle. Actually, I got it. On the way in a second. Can you grab me a water? And she said, yeah. Come over here. Dom. 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 What the F? He says, what? She said, I'm going to go to the car. And she says, since you want to stay by the Ferris wheel? And then she said, we're still going to the fair at 3 o'clock, right? And he said, bet. And she said stuff. And then she says, no, babe. Hey, are you dead? Babe. Oh my God. This is at 11:47 a.m. He said, I just woke up. What's up? She said, oh my God, I got scared because you weren't answering, babe. He said, LOL. I just peed for like 5 minutes straight. She said, LOL, do you want to come get a call? Pulp? He said, I do, but I was about to shower because I want to be ready for the fair. I'm out of the shower. I'll probably come to Pulp around 2-ish. I want to invite Blair to the carnival, but I don't know if you want Mallory to come. She said, I'm too something. It's not that I don't like her. I just don't like how she's always effing late. They can come to the carnival with us. And then he says, I'll ask Blair what he's doing. Don't take out your anger for them on me. Blair can't go. He's got work. She said, okay, bet. I guess the carnival is over. He said, what? How? And then she sends a picture. She says, why? It's saying it ended. I'm salt. And then sends another thing. And he says, all the other ones are like 2 hours away too. She says, I see Wait, I see one in North Ridgeville area. And he said, bet I'll go. Berea or North Ridgeville? I feel like Ridgeville would have better carnival. She said, well, can you see if it's even a carnival? I'm working. He said, LOL. I felt that heavy. She said, what? Is that a no or a yes? He said, I looked it up on the site. It doesn't say it has a carnival rides. It says that it's food and entertainment though. So probably music. And it also says paddle boat rides or something, but who cares about that? I can't find the North Ridgeville one. She says, then there probably isn't one. That's annoying though, for real. That's annoying the F out of me. He says, well, you told me you seen one in North Ridgeville. And it took me a while to find that bare Facebook post. And then she sends something. He says, I seen that. I'm going to end at the end of the 4th of July. We're at 2:41 p.m. And then he says, do you want to go? I don't think there's a carnival rides there. She said, I'm home. And he says, what's the plan? Do you want to come over and finish the street real quick? She said, I'm here. You really want to break up? What? So at 10 p.m., she says, you really want to break up? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. You have 1 minute to answer or I'm leaving. Is that a yes? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, cool. I'm going home. You effed up. I think I'm going to go home. He said, okay, babe, I'll come soon. You want to have everyone go to your house? They must have talked on the phone or something. I don't know. She said, bruh, I'm not leaving you here with the girls. Oh, he's like, okay, go. Oh my God, that's so funny, you guys. She's so mad. And he says, okay, I'll come soon. You want to have everyone go to your house? And she says, bro, I'm not leaving you here with the girls. I do not trust you. He said, bro, I don't care about them. They all older and definitely came with dudes. She said, I don't really care. That don't mean shit these days. I want to just go to bed. He says, nah, let's have a good night. We can at least do something. Everyone wants to chill with us. She says, I'm not drinking. And everyone sucks and is boring. He said, okay, you don't have to. Everyone out there having fun and we can still go to your house and have fun. I'm trying to chill with some of my dudes. Uh-oh, she ain't gonna like that. She says, I want to go home. I want to leave, but I can't trust you. You must be slow or something. Is that what it is? And he said, where did you go? And why am I slow? She said, because I really can't think of anything else other than that. Like, honestly, I'm leaving and you're not coming. Nice to know your priorities. And he said, why are you doing this? She said, I can't even explain what you're doing. The fact that you didn't even come get me for the fireworks, literally everything. Like, what the F is wrong with you? Why am I doing this, you ask? Ask yourself. He said, you were keeping a 5 feet distance from me. She said, clearly, your whack-ass responses are the problem. And he said, just come chill with me. She said, no, I'm not going to follow you like an effing dog. You come get me. And if a bitch talks to you one more time, I will literally slice her throat. I have ears. What? You literally have 1 minute to show up. I'm going home and we're not talking. And then he says, it's 10:57. He says, Hallie asked me to go to the bathroom. Where are you? She said, when did I ask her what she said? I don't care who's talking to you or what they said. I'm honestly just leaving. Clearly, you care more about everyone else. It's okay, babe. Just go get drunk and take pills. Clearly, that's fun for y'all. I know that F you didn't just turn around. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Honestly, the funny thing is, you just listened to me when we're first getting in the car. You wouldn't have known you forgot your phone. Okay, now it's 1:30 in the morning, and she says, come visit. He says, maybe I'm not dressed or showered. Huh? Oh, it's PM, so I'm going to stop there. Hold on. So 1:05. Oh, look, did you hear that? That was my thing telling me to go to bed. And I promised myself I would. So we are on page 19422. 19422. 19422. All right, let me see. You guys, there's no way I can go all the way back here, but let's see. Yes, I want to break up. I'm just going randomly in here. You guys, thank you so much for coming. I am going to have to read through these after. There's so many here, but you guys are hilarious. I'm like scrolling through some of these. These are great. Perpetual case of swamp ass. Oh, the algorithm gave you my live. Oh, I love this. Fly on your wall. I hope you subscribed. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'll go back and read some of these. I don't want to just read these and people be like, you know. She absolutely loves to fight Jeannie, doesn't she? It's never her fault. Wait, you guys, how funny is it? Hi, Maribella. How funny is it, though, that he calls her a narcissist more than once? So the exact dates they started dating was back in, I don't know. That's a good question. She was 13. No, she was earlier than 13. No, 13. 13, yes, 13. Crazy, right? Right? Wait, so you would think that they would call each other. I think they're like in the same house most of this time. They are up each other's butt. She is such a bee. Cuffy says, yes, I want to break up. That's great. That is so funny. My guy had no chance with her. I dare someone to give me an ultimatum. Oh, right. I'm not an ultimatum person either. I don't think they're cool. So I'm learning a new word. Wait, what word was it? What word did he use? That's so funny. I love you guys. Oh my God, your thing was up there the whole time, Truth. That's so funny. I didn't even realize that. You guys, thank you so much for showing up for me. You guys are the absolute best. And Barbara, hi, Barbara. Barbara, I'm just about to hang up. Tisa, you're here. Hi, Tisa. Barbara, I love you, Barb. So normally I would have been on way earlier, but I did have an emergency. So yes. Oh, the narcissist. Truth, isn't that funny? He uses it in like different ways. He calls her a narcissist. He says that was narcissistic. And I noticed that he often, yeah, Barb, just go back and watch. No big deal. I didn't really interact too much. I really read most of the time. But you know how he goes, Truth, and he reads like all the dictionary things? I feel like he went back and like read that. I'm surprised he hasn't put it up there yet. But it gets even crazier, you guys. And I feel like we did from January of 2022 till July. So we really only have from July to January. So the rest of this. Oh, I love you, Barb. Yes, Jeannie, Canvas was down all day and I had to teach all day without Canvas. And not only was Canvas down, but so was McGraw Hill and all the other things. And I didn't realize that Amazon owns Canvas because at the bottom of the Canvas thing, it has like an Amazon thing. Anyway, it was bananas today at school. My head was like boom, boom, boom. Dumb side. Wait, do you guys think she has a side person? Because I feel like she doesn't care right now. I don't know. Do you think she's like, I don't know, doing her what would you even call it? Her side thing, her side hustle. I don't know. But I feel like she does a lot of projecting. So I'm wondering. I didn't realize Amazon owned Canvas either until I put it up today, and I tried to check for every class, and at the very bottom it has an instructor thing, and then on the other side it has an Amazon link. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I use Canvas for everything. So when I'm doing my classes and I'm saying I'm making my Canvas, they're my Canvas shells, so I have to make like the entire course, and they're like crazy. Thank God I just posted one last night. Okay, I love you guys being here in this place. All right, you guys. I think you guys are great. I thank you all for being here. I don't even know what else to say. I don't know what I do without you guys. Yes, right? Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. It owns over 200 different companies. AWS. Oh, right. Amazon owns everything. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I don't know when I'll be live again. Hopefully, maybe not tomorrow, but the next day. So we'll see. We'll see how school goes. But I will get on here as soon as I can. And then Thursday nights are a good night because Friday I work from home. So Thursday nights are the nights that I could go long. Okay? But I'll be on here before then, I'm sure. I love you guys. Good night. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this so that I can continue to bring you content. Thank you so much.